So hello everybody, this is Susan Gerbic, and if you are watching this, it's because I have already finished Operation Banana Cream Pie. And so it's free to release, though I'm recording this just before Mother's Day in 2025. And I'm up here in Edmonton, Canada, which is beautiful, and I am trying to give talks about Wikipedia and editing of Wikipedia, as well as citations for how to as well as with psychics, and making citations so that we can have better Wikipedia articles concerning science. So the reason why I'm making this video is because that I just got off the phone with Suzanne's office manager. Her name is Diane. And you may have just heard that recording, or maybe not. We'll see what we release, of me trying to make the final payment for this event. And it's really troubling. This is getting to the part where it's really ugly. Now, I want you to think about this. Now, I'm looking out of my hotel window, and you see these cars going by. And in general, they're just cars going by. They're cars going by, and there's people walking on a little bridge down here. Let's see. And when you're thinking about these people, like, okay, so let's see if we can zoom in here a little bit more. Maybe not. So there's a person walking down here on this bridge, kind of in the middle of the thing, and they're wearing like a white top, and they got black pants on and white shoes, and they're just going across the bridge, minding their own business. And when you start really thinking about it, and you look at that person specifically, you feel, well, you kind of might make up a story in your mind, like, that they're out for a jog, or they're out for a walk, or they're out to meet somebody at the end of the pier, or this is part of their day, and this is the way they rejuvenate or whatever. So you look at these specifically, these one single cars or one single person, and you feel a little protective of them, and you feel some sort of relationship, even though I don't know that person, they're not going to know me or anything like that. But if you're looking at the world in general, and you're just looking at the place as a whole, it's a little easier to take action on something, because you don't feel the personal, I hate to say connection, because of course I don't know the person walking across the bridge, or the person riding the bicycle, or the car coming on, but you just feel like, I don't know, it's different when you actually know who the person is that you're about to make a decision that's going to impact their life. So I just got off the phone with Diane, and I asked her if she had been working for Susanne long, and she said, "Oh, it's a very interesting story." And I said, "Okay, tell me your interesting story. I want to hear your story." And you may or may not get to hear it, depending if I release that video or not. But one of the things she's talking about is, or she lost her son died in an accident. So it was sudden. It wasn't like a time where you got to grieve over a long period of time. Not that that's any better, but the suddenness of something like that. And I don't know if it's her only child or not, but she didn't mention any other children. But she says that, I think she said before she even knew he was dead, that he sent her a sign. And I think it was a number sign. A sign had to do something with numbers. And of course, that means only something to her. It does, and whoever she explains it to, it's not going to mean anything to me, because you try to make sense of this senseless kind of act, especially if an accident. And losing a child is super painful compared, not that I've had that, but compared to losing somebody who's older than you, your family's members, your parents, or older siblings, or your spouse who may be older than you. And she said the next year her husband died, and now she's alone. And she's bored. She contacted a medium, and I guess, and then she was in this helping parents heal area, and then she had known who Suzanne was. She'd been working with her now for a long time. But what happened is, I know that if I can pull off Operation Banana Cream Pie successfully, which is, I hope, my intentions, it's going to hurt this one person that I've been having calls with and, booking the appointment and getting the rules done and, talking to her many times. She seems like a genuinely nice person. And she said that she was just hanging around the house. She had nothing to do, and she took on this part-time job so she could work with Susanne. And she says it's been wonderful. She's learned a lot from her. Exposing Susanne, if she does take the bait and prove that she's a hot reader, even though I have put out videos showing she's hot reading, it's going to really hurt Diane, which is why I'm thinking about it in that, you think about it in the big perspective of the whole bunch of anonymous people that you don't know, but then when you finally get it down to just one person you're following, even if you don't know them well, or you're just thinking about them, how painful that's going to be for her. I'm sure she's going to make excuses. She's going to be very hurt when she finds out. It's not going to be a joy to her that she's just found out that this woman who claims to be a psychic medium to have talked to her son. She said when she told Susanne that she had a son that had died, Susanne told her, "Oh, he's got his hand on your shoulder right now." So Diane's going to have this, it's going to feel like she lost her son all over again, especially if she's been getting messages from Susanne, and she may have this, it's going to be very difficult, I guess, if she goes all the way and comes to, if she's going to go into cognitive dissonance and say, "Oh no, this woman's a liar, this Gervich woman, this is not true, none of this," and just deny, that's going to probably save her mental health a lot, in that she's going to feel like, my son did talk to me, and mediumship is real, and I am going to see my son again. And those messages he sent me, those are real, despite what this Susan Gervich and her group of skeptics thinks. But if she doesn't have that, and she comes to the realization that mediumship isn't real, it's going to be really painful. It's not going to be a feeling of joy of her kind. She's not going to be like, "Oh boy, all that time, all those years I've tried helping her, all those readings I've gotten, all those people I sent to her. No, I'm not stopping. I'm not thinking of stopping. I mean, a little bit in the back of my mind, I think maybe I should just walk away from this and allow Diane and others who are in this world who believe in Susanne and believe in people who believe in mediumship in general, this is going to probably have very little impact on. But people who followed Susanne, who's had readings, if they hear about this sting, which I hope they do, I hope it gets into her world, kind of hope they don't hear about it. But of course Diane is. So it feels really awful. It really does. It feels like in my gut that this woman I don't know is going to really be hurt by the actions that I'm taking. The way I think about it is to justify that. So by stopping or trying to stop Susanne now, trying to expose her now for what she's doing, which is not having psychic readings with people, but reading the social media or whatever back to them. In the long run, she will have less people she can affect. There won't be future Dianes, at least not in the Susanne Wilson's world, maybe in others. Maybe these people will seek out real help, therapy. I doubt it, because they'll probably just go to another medium, or they'll just turn in on themselves, and it would be not nice. God, it's really ugly work what we do. There's so much human emotion to it. There's so much, this is a human being you're messing with, you know? I don't know. I do know I have to move forward and I have to continue, because they have to be exposed. Yeah, she's an adult, a very vulnerable adult who's very lonely, who's lost probably the two closest people to her. She's going to be very mad. She's going to be very hurt. It's going to hurt her, and I don't like that feeling at all. Or any of the other women who might find out that are on this playlist for Susanne Wilson. They just call me evil things. They say, you know, people who do find out about these things, I assume, because mostly the victims that I expose, these people like cover up their names and things and blur them on the videos, so they probably will never come across it unless they're starting to question and they're starting to say, well, there was something odd about that medium, and they come across my video and then they say, oh my gosh, that's me on that video. And she's blurred my name out and she's blurred my face, but that is my reading. And I'm not so worried about them because they're already starting to question. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have found my video, because I'm obviously not using their real names. Well, I just want you to know that these are real people in grief, and it hurts. And that's all. I don't know what else I would tell you, except that, yes, I know this hurts. It hurts me, and I know it's going to hurt her. And I'm still pushing forward, because I don't want other people to be preyed by this woman again. Thanks all.